Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support, and I am absolutely thrilled to welcome all the students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We're really looking forward to supporting your professional growth in the hospitality industry. In this explainer, we are going to explore the absolute bedrock of hotel operations. We're talking about the night audit.
Our primary goal today is to fundamentally elevate how we actually perceive the night audit. A lot of people mistakenly view it as just this routine administrative task. You probably picture someone sipping coffee at 3 in the morning, quietly punching numbers just to balance the till, right? But the reality is completely different. The night audit is the beating heart of hotel strategy. It's the exact moment where raw, scattered transactional data gets transformed into the actionable knowledge that dictates the entire trajectory of the property.
So here's our roadmap for getting there. We'll start with moving from data to action. Then we'll look at the general manager snapshot, followed by revenue management analytics and owner profitability and ROI. Finally, we'll wrap up by mastering variance and balance. It's a journey that traces our raw data straight from the front desk in the middle of the night all the way up to the strategic investor level.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, from data to action, and see exactly how overnight data becomes actionable knowledge.
Think about the true life cycle of your data. It kicks off with the raw data logging during the night audit, but it absolutely does not stop there. Instantly, at daybreak, that exact same data flows directly into management's hands to shape daily operational tactics. And ultimately, it scales up even further to drive strategic ROI and owner analytics. The night audit is never just some closed, isolated loop. It is literally the starting point of a reporting chain that influences leadership at every single level of the business. Stepping into the executive office environment, we reach Section 2, the General Manager Snapshot. We'll be looking at the highlights of overall performance.
Picture a general manager walking into their office at 7 a.m. They literally do not have the time to sift through thousands of individual guest folios or line-by-line transactions. Instead, they rely on concise, immediate summaries. Things like occupancy breakdowns, total revenue, average daily rate, and key variances from the budget. This high-level synthesis, which is built entirely on night audit outputs, takes the hotel's pulse and sets the operational agenda before the first morning meeting even begins.
So the really crucial point for future professionals to grasp here is this: management confidence is incredibly fragile. A general manager's ability to make swift, confident daily decisions rests entirely on your accuracy at the audit stage. If the foundational numbers are wrong, the summary is wrong, and the GM is essentially flying blind. Consider what happens if a night auditor misclassifies out-of-order rooms, right? The GM might push the team to sell rooms that cannot actually be occupied. That leads to disastrous overbookings and severe guest dissatisfaction. Management confidence relies completely on your nightly precision.
Moving right along to Section 3, Revenue Management Analytics. This is all about driving pricing and inventory strategy.
Now, stepping into the modern revenue center, the perspective shifts completely. Revenue managers don't just want a brief morning snapshot. They demand deep, highly granular analytics. They rely on pickup reports to see exactly how many rooms were booked yesterday across different segments, and pace analysis to check if we're ahead or behind last year's booking trends. And guess what? The raw materials for these intricate, forward-looking metrics are, once again, your night audit figures. The foundational data is the same, but it's weaponized to build a totally different operational view.
And why does this granularity actually matter? Because these specific reports dictate how we adjust pricing and manage inventory across global distribution channels. A seemingly minor error in rate posting or segmentation during the night audit can completely skew the pace analysis. If the revenue manager looks at flawed audit data and thinks demand is artificially low, they might needlessly drop prices. That could potentially cost the property tens of thousands of euros in a single week. So the strategic weight of the audit process in protecting hotel revenue just cannot be overstated.
Ascending up to the high-end boardroom level, we arrive at Section 4, Owner Profitability and ROI. Here, we're aggregating data for long-term strategy.
There's a stark contrast in how different stakeholders actually use your data. Like we just talked about, revenue teams crave microscopic detail, daily pickup figures, exact rate codes, all of that. But owners and asset managers, they operate on a purely macro level. They consume periodic reports that aggregate your nightly work over quarters and entire fiscal years. For them, the emphasis shifts away from daily front desk operations and focuses entirely on cash flow, overarching profitability, and return on investment.
It's a really fascinating reality of the hospitality industry. Think about this.
An owner might literally never step behind the front desk or meet a night auditor. Yet, the financial integrity of a €100 million luxury asset rests absolutely on your nightly discipline and consistency. The overarching financial narratives that get reviewed in international boardrooms to dictate future property investments, they're only as reliable as the data blocks you build at 3 a.m.
Finally, let's step into the financial controller's office for Section 5, Mastering Variance and Balance, and see how we contextualize those raw numbers.
Variance reports are pretty much a financial controller's best friend. They compare our actual results against our budgets or forecasts, automatically highlighting anomalies that demand an explanation. But here's the catch. Raw numbers only tell you what happened, they never tell you why. And that is exactly where the night auditor's notes and documentation become absolutely critical. Your detailed, professional explanations provide the vital context that transforms a confusing numerical discrepancy into a clear, solvable operational issue.
Creating effective management reports across all these different departments is a really delicate balancing act. Drowning leadership in too much detail obscures key insights. The executives just get lost in the weeds. On the flip side, providing too little detail can easily hide major operational leaks and revenue losses. Because the night audit is incredibly comprehensive yet highly structured, it serves as the perfect foundation to strike this exact balance. It allows the property to seamlessly generate perfectly tailored reports with exactly the right depth for every single department.
And this brings us to a core philosophy taught in the advanced hospitality programs at Europe Hotel School. Understanding the downstream impact of your work fundamentally improves how your data is prepared. When a night auditor truly appreciates how their output ripples from the general manager's morning briefing, straight into the revenue manager's pricing algorithm, and all the way up to the owner's boardroom, well, they don't just run the audit. You start to approach your shifts with the precision, purpose, and dedication of a true hospitality professional.
So, we've seen how management reports derived from night audit outputs truly shape both daily tactics and long-term strategic decisions. The night audit is far, far more than an administrative chore. It's the absolute genesis of a hotel's intelligence. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this question as you advance in your studies. Will your nightly discipline be the foundation that drives tomorrow's hospitality strategy? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I wish you immense success in your professional journey.